No. Real quick. Okay. Remember, you're going to Walmart with me. You're going to do this for me.
How's everybody doing today? We just got a couple of more minutes and then we're going to get started here.
Just gonna go over it.
Thank you, everybody that's just now joining. We're going to get started here in a few seconds. I like this song, so I'm trying to listen to the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, no cover.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us at the Kicking It in the Kitchen with Chef John. Happy belated Juneteenth. I hope everybody celebrated the holiday pretty well. It's a good holiday that we should be recognized even more because it symbolizes our freedom, and that should be recognized. We should always celebrate this. So I have a menu today. that we'll be checking out. We're going to be doing some apple brine chicken drumsticks. We're going to do some succotash. Chef Gina. We're going to be doing some chocolate chip ice cream cookies, and we're going to have some hibiscus tea with our meal today. So we're going to get started. Chef Gina. So Chef Gina is going to be helping me as always. She never lets me forget that she helps me so much. So can we get right here? Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's get lower. Boom. Tilt, please. Thank you. So what we're going to start off first, we're going to start off with our chicken because our chicken is going to take the longest for us to do. So what I mean by brining, so have you ever had chicken or turkey that was just overly cooked, over dry? This is going to prevent that from happening. So what brining does is when you brine something, it relaxes the muscle fibers inside the chicken or whatever you're brining, and is going to make your food even more juicier. So if you're making chicken breast is very good to be able to brine, only because when we're cooking those proteins, the proteins want to contract and they release out all of their juice. And once we brine, those things won't happen as fast, and it's gonna season your food also. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get some water, we're gonna get some salt, the two main ingredients for our brine. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna put this on the stove and we're going to bring it up to temperature. Once it comes up to temperature, once it starts to boil, we're gonna cool it down. So what I did was I just put some apples in my brine. I put herbs, I put onions, and I put some allspice, some peppercorns, and things like that. This will go on the stove. Once it cools down, you can actually put your chicken in. So I did that step already. My chicken drumsticks have been brining for at least 8 hours. Try not to go over 24 hours because you don't want your food to be overly salty. So we're gonna start seasoning our chicken. So I'm gonna get my pot. So I'm gonna put a little olive oil in here. So when we're brining, the key to not over season is we're going to season this lightly now. So we already pretty much seasoned it because of the brine. So all the seasoning is already in the chicken. So we don't have to season this as much. So when we're seasoning proteins, we don't want to cross-contaminate, right? So we're going to either touch with one hand and season with the other, or get a utensil that we're not actually touching the food. So I'm just going to season. So in my seasoning, I have salt, pepper, garlic powder. So again, we don't have to season this as if we were season it if we didn't brine it, but we want flavor. We want to flavor our food in layers, and what that means is that every step we want to season so our food can be complete. If anyone has any questions, please in the chat, feel free to ask. Remy will get those questions to me, and I'll try to answer those as quick as I can. So we want to make sure that this gets gets at the temperature that it needs to. So we don't want to rush it. How did everyone celebrate Juneteenth? You can put that in the chat. What types of things that you did on Juneteenth to celebrate the holiday, and what new things should we be celebrating, like barbecues, things like that. So when we put olive oil in our pan, to know that it's done, our oil will look watery. If it's watery, you know that the oil is up to temperature. So it's just about there. We want to make sure it's there. So while this is heating up, I want to talk about our seasonings. You can season things. You can add your own seasonings. Here, I added. This is my own seasoning. I like to season how I like my food. So obviously, I'm going to put the seasonings in here that I like. And we always want to use ingredients that we can see because we don't have all of those chemicals that the other like processed foods have. So, and we don't know what those are doing to our body. But if we use our own seasonings, I know for a fact there's salt, pepper, garlic powder in here. I can't. There's nothing else in there. So chicken is gonna go in. So you want to hear that sound? So what I'm doing, I'm just searing it. I want to get some color on there, and then they're gonna go in the oven. Once this soup is not overcrowding your pan, the more crowded your pan, it'll actually cool down your pan, so you won't get that heat that you want. So we want to wiggle this just to make sure it's not sticking. So this will continue to cook. After it gets the color that I want it to, it's gonna go to the oven. So does anybody have any questions about the frying, or do anyone have any questions of what other things I'm putting in here? I want to thank everyone again for joining us. A lot of work go into these videos, and I think it's going to show. But I just want to say I appreciate everybody that actually were able to come in and check things out. So this is going to continue to cook. And I know I say this all the time, and I don't do it, but we want to let it sear. Don't touch it. It won't be able to get the color that we want. We won't be able to have that Maillard reaction to happen. So let it cook, let it get crispy, and then we'll finish it. Maillard is a reaction that actually lets things brown. So say for instance, you were making hash brown. The hash brown gets that golden color because of the Maillard reaction. It's a scientific term, and it's what makes you get that color on your food. So this is gonna finish. After this gets the color that we want it to, Chef Gina's gonna throw it in the oven for it. So we want to have golden pieces like that. This is going to continue to cook. So that's what we're looking for, that golden color. Thank you, Chef Gina. I want to thank Chef Gina again. Chef Gina is always helping me with these things. So thanks, Chef Gina. Okay, so next we're gonna go to our ice cream cookie sandwich, and we need to make ice cream, correct? So you can do this. You can do this however you want to, but I'm going to show you how we're going to make our ice cream base, and I'm going to show you what it needs to take to actually make the ice cream. So I have our ingredients here. So we have egg yolks, sugar, and cream. Now, a lot of people don't actually make their own ice cream base because it can mess up. A lot of people mess this part up, but I'll show you how not to. So I'm gonna get a pan. Our cream is gonna go into the pan. So a real cool tip to not mess this up is we are not boiling this. Like, we don't want to boil it. If we boil it, it's going to mess up. So we want to get the right the heat temperature on this so it can come together. While that's heating up, I'm gonna mix my egg and my sugar. So once we add egg, when we add eggs and sugar, that's a custard. So the egg yolk is going to go in. Sugar goes in. Mix. So what we're looking for, so right now I have a bright yellow. We want to mix this until we have a pale yellow. And that'll help dissolve the sugar. It'll help to get all of the ingredients together. So now it's a paler yellow. So I'm gonna stir this. We want to take our time with this because, again, we don't want this to curdle. So I've already completed this step. I'll show you what the next step is in a few seconds, but we're going to keep this going until it starts to heat up. Once it starts to heat up, we're going to do a temper. And so what a temper is, we're going to slowly add some of the hot liquid into our egg mixture. If we added it all right now, the eggs can curdle. We don't want that. Somebody might like it, but I don't think I would like scrambled egg ice cream. So things are starting to smell good. So what I mean about temper. So I'm gonna grab my hot liquid and I'm going to mix in slowly to get the liquid and the egg mixture almost to the same temperature so it can safely go in. Now we can add the rest. Now this is going to go back in here. I know it seems backwards, but we definitely don't. We don't want the eggs to curdle. So that's why we take those extra steps. A lot of the times in the kitchen, we take a lot of steps to make food good. And I can appreciate that because when people taste my food and other foods that we make in the kitchen, people like to enjoy them. They taste the depth in our food. And those are the differences between like good food and great food. So we're learning how to make good food, but what's going to take that food up to the next step, and it's adding depth. It's cooking with love. It's cooking with your soul and all those good things, right? So this is going to cook. So there's a French term. I know I always have to give y'all a French term. So the French term that we are going to talk about today is called à la nappe or nappe. So a nappe means the coat of the back of a spoon. And that's what we want the consistency of our custard. So I got a spoon here. So if we raise this up, we see that it's dripping and it's not coating. After this heats up, once we turn this on, once it heats up, it'll start to get thicker and it'll coat the back of a spoon. Now, if we take this too far, we're going to end up with clumps. So again, you won't boil. If it's boiling, stop. If it's boiling and you haven't got any clumps and like curdles, you're on fire. Okay, so this is going to cook. So our chicken is going into the oven, and I'm going to show you what our next step is. So while this cooks, Chef Gina is just bringing our next item. Thank you. So we have us a ice cream maker. This is one of those old school ones. Hold on, let's see. Maybe you touch something. Sorry about that.